Hello guys,
Hey
here's
everybody.
Anna Rojas and Alla Strader is here from BAcademy. I guess we're starting a little bit later than we initially thought we're gonna start, but let's just wait a little bit for you guys to join. I know that some of you will be coming and will be joining. Okay, so hello again. We're starting a little bit later. So how's everybody doing? Just to give us some thumbs up and pluses and whatnot. Say hi. We're here.
Hey guys, so this cast will be in English, and the reason for that is because this is like an intro cast to our upcoming masterclass. It will take place this Sunday. The masterclass will be purely in English. We have English participants. We have about 5 people signed up from America so far, so we expect more people. So, join the group. It will be a lot of fun, a lot of theory, a lot of practice. Again, this is applicable to those who can understand at least basics of English, because again, it will be comprehensive business analysis masterclass in English. Again, if you're working for a foreign company, or if you have a foreign stakeholders or a client, this is the right place for you to be. And let's go ahead and start talking about elicitation techniques. And our goal today is to highlight 3 important steps every business analyst needs to know to choose the right elicitation technique.
Yes, guys, and in the end of this cast, we will give you a discount code that you can actually use when signing up for our masterclass this Sunday. So stay tuned, stay until the end, and we'll give you the discount code. So if you're interested, you will be able to buy the masterclass for a discounted price. So let's go back to our topic today. What are the 3 steps that every business analyst needs to do to choose the right requirement solicitation techniques for his industry, company, and stakeholders? So first of all, I want to tell you that it's super important to choose the right elicitation techniques and choose it right. Who is agreeing with it? Please go ahead and put 1 in the comments or pluses that you agree with it and you did get some issues because the elicitation techniques that you used was not sufficient for your particular project or stakeholder. So the very first step, you need to analyze your industry. Which industry you are in and what has historically been used for that particular industry. And let me tell you why. Because if you come into a new industry as a newbie, you haven't been there, and you're trying to be creative, and you're saying, okay, let's do that, let's do this, let's do focus group, let's do something else. But then the industry has its own historical data, it has its own culture, it has its own way of talking about requirements, talking about their needs. So you cannot just go interfere and change the whole course. Unfortunately, not that great. You cannot change the industry course. Yes, you can influence it somehow, but basically you need to stay with within this frame the industry give you. Let me give you an example. So, for example, if you're working for an aviation industry, there is something that's set in stone in there. They do have working groups that they invite a lot of their customers to. So imagine when you're actually developing a product for aviation industry, you're working like hundreds and hundreds of airlines. So of course you will not be able to go and interview each and every customer, each and every stakeholder in order to develop your product. So that is kind of making sense. But again, look historically what was done in this industry, what kind of techniques were already used. So, and try to use that.
Yeah, just to add a little bit more to what Anna is saying, is a lot of, especially bigger companies, they have yearly or maybe like semi-annual conferences. And those are the conferences that they would usually send business analysts to. So, look at those conferences, look at those like bigger and major events where you will be expected to go and gather requirements from. Don't just sit there idle, not asking questions. If you're being sent to one of those, the expectations is that you'll come back with the full set of the requirement specifications or some really great ideas that the company can utilize and build upon its strengths, and maybe look into new improvements and maybe new innovations for the company.
So basically, the bigger the company, the older the industry, you will have different elicitation techniques than if it's a new industry, if it's a startup, if the customer base is smaller, and all these other things. So, and of course, history of one industry over the other one also influence that.
Yep. All right, but let's go ahead and jump to the next one. So the next one, and if you notice, Anna is coming from the industry, which is on the higher level. Next will be the company, which is going to look at next. And of course, the stakeholders, people in the company. Of course, outside of the company, there are a lot of stakeholders, not just specific to the company, and we'll talk about at the masterclass. So the next level is the company. When we look at the company, well, first of all, we need to look at the culture. What's the culture in the company? Others, a lot of younger people, people who likes dynamics, innovative ways of facilitation techniques, or are those like older people that would try to have one longer meeting, provide their feedback and comments via verbally or via email. They would try to have meet in person, then have a quick discussion over the phone. Look at the company, look at other projects, look at lessons learned, so-called lessons from other projects that usually project managers and business analysts are exposed to. Talk to other PMs and talk to other BAs on other different projects and see what worked well. Maybe there is a person who you're taking over on the project, and that person can give you some helpful tips on what's working on this, what would work on this specific project.
Yeah, so if you really listen to what Alla was saying, so you notice the word terminology used or the saying used as lessons learned. So I'm curious, how many of you guys on your projects in your companies are actually doing lesson learned? And if you're actually learning any lessons out of it, I'm just curious. So please share if your company actually doing lesson learn. Is it just on a project level? Is it just to say, point fingers, you did that, let's not do that? Or if it's really a good resource that anybody in the company can use later on, including choosing the right elicitation techniques. I'm just curious if you're actually using that. Sure. So just let us know if you're already using lessons learned for something else apart from actually choosing the right elicitation techniques. And I guess we will just move forward with the next piece. So we just talk about that you need to go ahead and check the industry culture, industry historical information, and how the elicitation is being done in this industry. Then you need to look at the company level and any lessons learned you can get, as well as now you need to look at the stakeholders inside your company. That's your third step. In order for you to choose the right elicitation technique, you need to go ahead and actually look at your stakeholders inside the company. So stakeholders inside the company are very important because the amount of how many stakeholders you have, or if you have stakeholders outside of the company, will determine what kind of elicitation technique you can use. And you just need to use your common sense. So first of all, if you see that you have a lot of stakeholders inside, a lot of stakeholders outside, of course you're not going to go and interview each and every person, and you cannot even do a group meeting because there are going to be hundreds of people. You cannot do this. Now for that, you need to specifically choose which main stakeholders to target, and then you can have a specific meeting with them and get some of the requirements out of this way. And that's basically your meeting with SME, subject matter experts, right? But at the same time, you cannot just stop at talking to these top people because you have other customers, you have other users, and you need to talk to them somehow or do something. So you can choose to have either some surveys or focus groups out of these people. Again, that goes to your deeper analysis, guys, right? That's why you're business analysts, right? That's why you're systems analysts. Because you need to go in and analyze this and choose the right technique for your stakeholders.
So basically, what Anna's saying is, if you have like hundreds of people, or let's say 100 or 20, 40 people, do you really pick up the phone and call each one of them individually like you would do if you were on a really small project, if you only had like 2 to 3 stakeholders? Or, like what do you do? What are different approaches? What does work best for external stakeholders and internal stakeholders? Would you rather have one like brainstorming session, or would you rather just go with like a maybe you would go with the survey and would send out the form just to gather some initial opinion from those people, and based on who has what type of level of impact on the project, maybe then you would just go ahead and meet with those key stakeholders and key participants and get the requirements from them.
Yes, so I'll just mention influence on the project. So whenever we go more deeply into requirement solicitation in our masterclass this Sunday, so that's where we're actually going to talk about that you need to analyze your stakeholders. And the way to analyze your stakeholders, there are several analyses that you can run. So you can analyze your stakeholders' influence on the project. You can analyze the stakeholders' attitude towards the project, towards your team, towards a business analysis in general. So all this nifty and nice analysis techniques that we're going to cover on our masterclass this Sunday. So you will have all the templates and guidance of how to do this particular analysis, because it is important what's the influence of this particular stakeholder in a project. It could be that you already in the end of the project, and because you didn't do your analysis right, you just missed this guy, and he's actually a decision maker, and you already moving on with the product. You already almost develop it, or it's in the middle of the fly. You didn't get your sign off. You didn't get the right people to testify and verify and give you these requirements, and in the end, you basically in trouble. Okay.
Right. And, well, again, we all ask, like, why is this important? Why do I need to know about different elicitation techniques and how to do them? So another thing is, I just want to make sure you guys are clear that we're not just going to talk about just to cover different elicitation techniques and what goes in each one of them. We will also do practical hands-on exercises and, help you to get really like hands-on understanding how to use each one of those elicitation techniques. And at the end, you'll also have checklists and templates you can just take with you to your real work. And, following those checklists, you can easily determine, well, first of all, which elicitation technique to use, and second, how to go about it. Like one of the challenges that beginners business analysts have is when starting on a project, they would be like, well, I really don't know how to organize even like a simple meeting, or a chat session that's usually done. It involves developers. How do you create agenda? How to keep meeting going and try to achieve meeting objectives. All of that and much more will be at our masterclass. So again, we would like to invite you to our masterclass. It's going to start at 4 p.m. Sunday, November, June 10th, which again, this Sunday, it's a Moscow time. Or it's 9 in the morning, Washington time. That's where we will be broadcasting from. Again, we're really excited about this masterclass. It provides a lot of great tips and techniques, and would like to see you.
Guys, we just noticed that a lot of people are commenting that the video is the wrong way. Yeah, I guess we didn't notice this. So whatever cast we're gonna do, we're gonna switch the phone. I guess now it's kind of a little bit weird to do it. It's a little bit too late. But anyways, thank you for your attention, and as promised, you're getting a discount code for our masterclass that's coming this Sunday. So if you really need to work through your requirement solicitation techniques, and we are going to talk in depth about what exact elicitation techniques you can use. We will cover survey, we will cover interview, we will cover meetings. Again, meetings might seem just very easy to you right now, but when you understand, when you remember these problems that you encounter when you actually the meeting, the facilitation techniques to use, how to write agenda, how to write your notes, all this little detail that is very important in order for you to have a successful requirement solicitation meeting. That's what we're going to share. Of course, anybody can just go to the meeting, but it doesn't mean it's going to be successful, right? So that's a small tips. That's a thing we're going to teach you and coach you on, is how to make these meetings productive. Of course, we're not just going to tell you, okay, go to the meeting and that's it. That's your elicitation technique. The same thing with the survey or other techniques, because for example, survey, you can have some trouble and what kind of questions you can ask in a survey, what is not a good question to ask in a survey, because sometimes you ask about solution in a survey, and as a good business analyst, we cannot talk about solution before we really dig deeper and understand business needs. So you need to ask about business needs in the survey. I mean, things like that, the small things that make or break your requirement solicitation, that's what we're going to talk about in our masterclass on Sunday. So for those who really need this information, for those who really need to learn, we're giving out a discount code. So the discount code give you a chance to purchase the masterclass for $49. So the current price is $69. You will be able to purchase it for $49, and the discount code is VKBA49. Again, it's all capital letters, VKBA49. So whenever you go there, you can just review the masterclass agenda or curriculum. And if you really love it, and that's something you need to do, is to actually hone your requirement solicitation skills, then this masterclass is for you. So go ahead and click on buy, and you will still see that it's $69, but you will be able to pay $49, and just put the discount code in the comments section so we know that you come from this cast.
Alright guys, so again, this masterclass is great for those who have some sort of exposure to an international or foreign client or a stakeholder, or who is looking for that next step into getting a job as the business analyst at the international company or foreign company. Again, the masterclass will be purely in English. We already have American students, and we're looking to bring you guys on board. Again, we are opening this training to now our Russian speaking audience and friends. So you're welcome to join us. We're really excited to see you this Sunday. And to go to the video to masterclass page, there'll be a link below this video. So go ahead and click on it, and hopefully we'll see you this Sunday.
So it's also a great way to network, because we will have different people from different countries. So that's your way to network with your BA colleagues. And that's a good point. Of course, you will practice your English. As you see, everything will be in English. It's mainly a masterclass for our American students, but we just decided to share this information and this opportunity with you guys. So if you feel like you're ready and you can actually learn in English, you can process information in English, you can create some artifacts as we go, because we will have some exercise as we go as usual, because our style is not just giving you theory, it's actually practicing it. Then go ahead and sign up. If you do have any questions about it, go ahead and put your comments under this video, and we'll definitely reply, and we'll just answer questions.
Alright guys, well, thank you so much for today's participation. We're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. And again, wish you all the best, good luck, and see you.
Alright guys, thank you so much. See you.